You like that graphic editing, huh? You know how long it took this old boomer to go do the tilt angle and see, and I'm getting down with the kids now. And what's sad, it's because everyone's a freaking lemming. That might actually work. My stupid face. Oh my God, Spider Wolf. So now I'm going to tell you a story. Now, so many years ago, when Kevin was a hardworking, industrious, aspiring young man, and would have, I not joking, would have, yeah, what? 80-hour work weeks? That's nothing. That's cake compared to what I've been doing. Went to school full time, work full time. What do you, I got straight A's. No help from a big, yeah. What, throw you bow do 80 hours? Sure. What do you want? And the irony, and I can't be the only one from the University of Minnesota to think this, but not to bore you with the Twin Cities geography, but there's downtown Minneapolis, all right, and on the immediate east side of the interstate, so you got Minneapolis, you got the interstate that runs along its east side, there's downtown, and then immediately across that on the east side of the interstate is the University of Minnesota campus, all right, and especially on the west bank of campus, closest to downtown, you have the people who are most desperately employed to work for business, brah, which would be your law school and then your business school. Big Nash, Matt Damon. The engineers and the doctors and the biologists and the people who did real work, they were furthermore on the east bank of campus. But if you got high enough up on the Moose Tower, yeah, I know the campus, you would see all these downtown buildings with all these prospective employers, and the optics of that I always found just so tragic in the end, where you would see these downtown buildings all the time, like, oh, someday I'm going to work down there. And I'm not saying no one from the University of Minnesota ever got hired, but I guess the University of Minnesota had such a bad reputation, and probably still does to this day. You wouldn't get hired by those employers that you could see their corporate headquarters right across the interstate. And it's verified because I remember going on job boards where there wouldn't be jobs posted in our field from any of the employers downtown. But then a friend of mine, he went to Princeton. Yeah, I know some smart people. And he's like, well, I got a bunch of jobs from downtown. US Bank is looking, and Wells Fargo, then Norwest. What are you talking about? They're like, we're not getting these. Like, the Carlson School of Business. And then you found out, and I had another lawyer buddy who went to University of Minnesota Law School, and all these law firms, again, they had the same thing. The law firms one time prematurely sent rejection letters to this is in probably the 80s. This is how long ago it was, because the guy's older than me. But they prematurely sent rejection letters to law graduates from the University of Minnesota Law School that had yet to interview. They were just doing it as a PR thing. So, yeah, the University of Minnesota's crap school. So, aside from downtown, there was this one employer, still exists today, or does it? There's this one theoretical employer called Cargill. And if you go on the internet and you look up Cargill, presumably it's the largest privately held company in the United States. And a long time ago, when I looked up Cargill on the internet, it was something like 250 billion. It's got to be assets. I don't think it was sales. It was theorized to be a very, very, very large company. And what the internet and people told us is that Cargill was into agriculture and all the derivative type of things from it. So there'd be grains and manure and chemicals and derivatives trading, the financial trades, financial instruments arising from all that. Boy, shucks, howdy. If you were blessed by the Minnesota gods of don't you know and self-loathing, if you were a really good Minnesotan now there, yeah, and you got your master's degree and you were from Edina, yeah, and you played hockey with the right people's parents, yeah, your kids went to the private school, you went to Breck together, don't you know, yeah, and you went to the Walker Art Center and made some donations, and especially if you were in St. Thomas there now, don't you know, you might be one of the privileged few to be granted employment at Cargill. Now, us poor, inferior schleps who went to public schools, or heaven help you if you went to Hamlin, or heaven help you if you went to Mankato, like the genetically inferior among the Minnesota, not the elite, not the prestigious, not from the high schools where it either began or ended or both with a vowel, with your Egans and your Eden Prairies and your Edinas and Anokas. Well, Anoka, I think some people actually work real jobs up there. Anyway, to us, not mortals, us inferiors, us plebes, us degenerates. You ever see Gattaca? There you go. Now you know what you're talking about. Some of us foolishly thought we could apply for jobs at Cargill. And so we would send our resumes out there that maybe they would have a proto-affirmative action program to let, people whose parents didn't make $90,000 in 1992, maybe they'd let us into Elysium. Maybe we could go to the promised land of Cargill. And so thousands, waves of resumes were sent over the downtown area and out to where all the perfect people live. The Waizaze, the Super Edina. The joke in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going here. You all heard of Scottsdale, right? Like Scottsdale. Oh my goodness, Barbie world and a Barbie girl, plastic, fantastic. Oh, we have a canal. Look, $47 for a Big Mac. Well, you don't know about Paradise Valley. Paradise Valley owns Scottsdale. Scottsdale is so 1980s. The real money is in Paradise Valley. Scottsdale is where you go if you want to borrow. Like if you could afford to borrow money but don't actually have money, you're in Scottsdale. The real money, the actual millionaires, live in Paradise Valley. And more modernly, as all the wealth has evacuated Edina, the real wealth, the modern day wealth, is in the Waizaze. It's in Wayzata. And Edina is like, how quaint, how 1988. That's cute. Oh, I remember the Bush senior administration. That's nice. You have some sequin dresses with the tiger pattern there, Becky. Anyway, thousands of us from across the state, because Minnesota's a caring little state, don't you know, would send their resumes off to Cargill. We never heard anything. Not one person in the recorded history of all of Minnesota history. You could go to the state capitol, and they got the book. It's a big, thick book. All the history of Minnesota history, all of Minnesota history in the book. Like it's like 100 chapters, 98 of which is self-loathing. But you will not find once anyone getting a job at Cargill from a non-prestigious institution. Well, then I started talking to some friends, like, some people at St. Thomas and some people at Breck and some people who they were charitable, they were kind, they hung out with us blue collar types, and they would give us the time of day, and they would say, "Yeah, I didn't get a job at Cargill. Yeah, because same degrees or same field. Like, yeah, did you see that job opening? Yeah, I said, did you? No, I didn't." What about Thaddeus? He's got a better name than you do. Your name is John. The tragedy, you went to St. Thomas without a prestigious name. I know you put a third after it, even though you're the first, but you didn't. Even with the third, John McWinthrop the third, you didn't get an interview over at Cargill. What about Thaddeus McRichdick over there, the fifth? Thaddeus didn't get it. You both went to graduate honors, St. Thomas, right? Both your parents paid your way through college, right? So no stench of poverty or working class on your finger, right? You didn't walk in. No one's even been to the campus. I said, no one's been to the campus. So I did an investigation many years ago. This is when I was a cyclist. One of the few good things that can be said about Minnesota, at least the Twin Cities, they got a spectacular biking trail system. So I went out and I had to put on a tuxedo before I got on my pedal bike. And people were like, why you got to put on a tuxedo? I say, in case they see me, they know I'm one of them. They don't suspect nothing. I got to look like them. I got to fit in. I'm going to cross the 494 border to go get to the west side where all the Wyzetians live. And they shove diamonds up their ass. I don't know what they do out there. Actually, I do know what they do with it. It's actually, Wyzetta is a boring town. It's not, what you want to do, you want to go to Navarre or you want to go to Excelsior. That's where the fun is. Wyzetta is just retired people, to be perfectly honest. But the school district, they're like, oh, my goodness. So I did go bike around and I did find the campus in the Wyzeze. And it's guarded, military towers, gun emplacements, everything. But I'm looking around and I'm like, this don't look real. I don't see no people. Where are the people? And then I figured it out. Dun, dun, dun. Do you know what Cargill is? Cargill doesn't exist. It was a Potemkin village. It was like you went into like a Disney World or something, or Great America. It was all like the fake storefronts. They got a lot of that in South Dakota, though, by the way. Like, oh my God, a real mercantile store. Like, yeah, built in 2007 with plastic. Not a real mercantile store. Yeah, go buy your $50 cowboy shirts made in China over there. Go and be a tourist. All right. But I was looking around. It looked nice. No people. And I even saw 2x4s holding up the fake thing. And then I realized Cargill doesn't exist. And what I realized Cargill is it is not the world's largest privately held company. It is not an agricultural financial magnet or juggernaut. It is a cruel joke played on all the aspiring college graduates in the state of Minnesota to think that there's an actual employer with actual jobs who will get back to you and give you a career. And then it made sense. That's why there's no other explanation. It doesn't. It's a cruel joke. It's a sick, twisted, and I've exposed it. Not one person in the history. Now, there is a Cargill. Technically, there's a Cargill. There's like 3 guys. And then they have they maintain a website. They mow the grounds. The 2x4s. We better replace the 2x4s to keep the facility looking like it's up. The guard tower is probably made of styrofoam. You know, there was that fake army in World War II where they made it look like there were a bunch of tanks, the Brits, but what it was a bunch of inflatable tanks. That's it. That's Cargill. It doesn't exist. Now, I don't know what sick, twisted asshole over in Minnesota would do such a thing to the aspiring young people, the hardworking, aspiring. They don't even get the chance to work. You'd like to work for Wells Fargo? Well, bachelor's required, master's preferred. Oh, you have your master's? I'm sorry, sir. You went to Fridley High School. Well, maybe we can have you enter in an entry-level position that you could have done with your 6th grade education. Analyst? Why, my goodness, you need your doctorate. Oh, you played hockey with my little boy, Thaddeus? Well, that's different now. Yes, come right in. Senior VP position for your 23-year-old dumbass. What to say, Thomas, I hope. I knew you did. You didn't smell the stench of the University of Minnesota. But yeah, man. So I don't know who did it. Maybe, you know what? It's probably all those rich people in Wyzetta. Like, how can we, they smoking their pipes and shoving diamonds up their ass, whatever they do over there. But actually filing for bankruptcy and a financial housing crisis. That's what a lot of them did. So I don't know what they're doing, but I bet you it's somebody out there like, I'm so bored living on the lake, having billions of dollars. So bored. What should we do? Yes, I know. How about we come up with this idea of an elite, prestigious, large financial corporation? Agricultural too, mind you. Fuck Archer Daniels Midden. We'll make it seem better than that. And we'll tell all the young aspiring people that there's this employer. And if you send out your resume, you might be part of the prestigious. You might be part of Elysium. Yes. You might be able to be in the Wyzeze. You too might own a boat. All East in finance, by the way. If you did, I a decade and change of experience being a banker and an analyst in the Twin Cities, and I know exactly how much money. There's not that many people that actually got the real money. There really isn't. The vast majority of people who are out there do not actually have a positive net worth. Oh, I don't know. Well, not now with the interest rates going up. The only they're like Donald Trump. The only way the net worth goes up is like hopefully housing prices go up, and then but they don't actually make a profit. Yeah, that's what it was. And then they watch and it's like when what is it, NORAD? No, it's the post office. Remember, like little kids, here's exactly what it's like. You know how the post office will take letters from little kids to Santa Claus? And I don't know if they ever did it. I'm sure they get millions. They don't possibly have the time, but maybe they write a letter back. Or I know NORAD does the tracking of Santa, the indulgent, but that's innocent, sweet, and cute for little kids. This is like that where they make you believe there's like Cargill clause, like it's a real thing and it exists and it offers jobs to the locals in Minnesota. Like, no, it's just three guys. That's all. It's three guys. Sometimes I hire a contract. Oh crap! We accidentally sent a letter out that says you've been accepted for an interview. You're not supposed to do that. You have the template. How'd the yes template get into our system? It shouldn't even be there. Ah, crap. Now we got so he's going to blow the whole cover. This idiot kid coming from Hamlin, of all places. Hamlin. He can barely walk. I know. I don't know if he's going to even know that we're west of him. Even if he knows to come out on 394. Look, in the small chance this Hamlin graduate actually figures out how to get here, we got to make it look like we're here. Oh, crap. All right, go hire a bunch of contractors. What do we need? Let's get a bunch of, hey, you know who work really cheap because they can never find jobs? All the girls who majored in HR at the University of Minnesota Carlson School of Graduate, because there's only like 1 billion of them. Like that's all it is, like go get one of them. We need at least one HR. They'll know. Well, how would they know? Well, they're just that catty and snooty and arrogant and has stupid questions about what their favorite color is and why. And if they could be a bird, which lake would they fly over? Just any one of them will do. You can even tell them, for God's sake, that it's a real thing. And we're just trial running and seeing if we want to hire them at Cargill. Get them in here. And the guy comes in. Oh, my goodness, they got their goggles on. Ah, shit, he found us. Hey, Thaddeus. Yeah, what is it, Mackenzie? I don't know. He got here. That guy from Hamlin figured it out. Fuck, they're supposed to be like 4th tier. I know. All right, and here he is. Oh, hi, how you doing? He's got a suit on. Comes in and interviews. Oh, and then he's the one guy that perpetuates the lie. He goes back on the other side of 494, where the poor people live, where the inferiors live, where the people that, oh my goodness, can't we just hunt them? My God. And he spreads the, yeah, it's a campus. I talked to some arrogant, prickly bitch with a pencil skirt on, and she asked me a bunch of stupid woo chakra crystal astrology questions. Had nothing to do with the job. That's it. There's they don't exist. So, for all you people, even out of state, I know you think you see that job. They're listing a job at Car. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's a Potemkin village out there. They got the plastic front with the little mercantile Stein 1895, bank. Finance division. It's painted with paint and paint's dripping down. Finance division, IT. It could become like a theme park, Cargill land. Oh, we're so busy trading our options. Ooh. People come out in character. Just a bunch of guys in suits all marching in line with briefcase. We got a meeting. Oh, big important stuff. So there you go. Oh, God. Anyway, I don't have it linked below. I just got a link to my consulting site. But here, in all seriousness, look, guys, you don't want to be dicking around looking for jobs. And you don't want to be dicking around with the Cargill bullshit. There's an element of actual truth to what I've been saying. You need to be an engineer. You need to be a CPA. If you're going to go to school or college, you don't be having time dicking around with this application. And for the love of God, if you can, unless you're going to like becoming a surgeon or an actual engineer, I would really avoid any schools in Minnesota. I just avoid them altogether. The especially the University of Minnesota system, I would not be going. And by the way, St. Thomas is not that much, but you might have some connections. But these schools in Minnesota are pretty piss poor. And on top of it, you don't want to live in Minnesota. It's cold. They got traffic. They got high taxes. Forget it. It's no. Go online. Go down to Florida. Go down to Texas. Go down to Nevada. Go down to Nevada. Go anywhere but there you go. All right, let's go to the super chats and have ourselves a treat. Naughty DJ Aftershocks, $2. At least Wayzata has coma. Bear exercise place. Bear exercise place? Beret exercise place? I know coma, keep her off my ass money. That's a term in banking where, okay, we got to explain. You brought it up. I got to explain because people are like, what's coma? All right. Coma is an acronym for keep her off my ass. In the days when we could be frank with each other, a surgeon would come in. He'd be making whatever, $700,000 a year, like one of the few rich people that actually came in for a loan and actually had wealth. And then his wife, he would co-sign a loan for his wife. What did wife want to do? Did she want to open up a semiconductor plant? Did she want to become a surgeon too? Did she want to, I don't know, get into metal manufacturing? No, it was always some bullshit hobby joke of a thing, or it'd be a bauble shop or a trinket store or a cupcake thing. And you didn't have to go to what the hell was the database they used? RMA, Risk Management. It used to be Robert Morris Associates, Risk Management Associates now. And you go look up cupcake financial industry averages, and you realize none of you have made any money. Just like no one's ever gotten a job at Cargill. All right, not a single cupcake company has ever made it more than 2 years. And then the old banker boss would pull me aside and say, let me explain something to you. This is a coma loan. I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking COMA. Keep her off my ass. I'm like, what's that mean? He's a surgeon. He's got shit going on. His wife is driving him. This is one of the few bankers that gave it to you straight across the plate. Yeah, and not surprisingly, was not participating in the housing crisis that resulted. This guy made good loans. I think he retired early. Imagine that. He's like, he's going to finance this whole thing. The value or the merits of the loan is based off of his income. There's not even only for underwriting purposes would even bother to start spreading and analyzing her income statements if she even provides us with them. So we're going to underwrite it. We're going to go, through procedure, and then we're going to approve it anyway because that guy is the guarantor. He's going to make sure we get paid back. And these weren't all that common, but there were some. There were a handful that came across my desk. And I'm like, oh, a coma loan. But you can't call it a coma loan. Oh, you're an aspiring entrepreneur. Well, okay, Bipsy. Sure, just sign here. Oh, by the way, we're going to need your husband to sign too over here. But yeah, there were a fair amount of those. Nonstop Drake, $2. Is the thumbnail face what Vincent sees? You tune in to Masculine Geeks, I see. No, that's just me trying to do like Spider Wolf or Mr. Bean. Or not, Bean's the British, Mr. Beast. Guys, it's not, I'm not kidding. I know. I'm bored. I get bored in my life. And I'm like, okay, how do I tilt the font? Which did take me 15 minutes to figure out. And then, okay, how do I get the background color all the same? How do I find the Cargill thing to have the same background? That took me longer than it took to do this video. And then I had to get a picture. And I had to remove the background. I figured it out. It was more just something to do because my day is entailing going to the gym and then going to the cigar line. It's a horrible life. Horrible life. So what the hell was I going with that? Oh, go back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you'll see I increased my thumbnail game. Beforehand, I didn't give a crap about thumbnails. No, thumbnails are very important. It's like the cover of the book. Well, the thing in the book is the more important. Nope, the cover is the most important thing of the book. The most important thing about the video is the thumbnail. I started putting together better thumbnails. And then it's like, oh, you always here, go, you can look this up. I'm not lying. Go look it up. To get the most traffic, not from you guys. I'm not kissing your asses when I say this. I'm being very descriptive and literal. You guys are not dumb. If you all took your IQ test, you're all at least 115 or above. We're talking the dope shits. We're talking the dumbasses. We're talking your average rank and file, like people who get their MBAs and go wear another man's jersey and go watch sports ball for $200 a ticket. These commoners, these NPCs will, that's among other reasons, Spider Wolf, Mr. Beast. If you look at the biggest followed channels, there's always a shocking face, loud font, and then crazy accusation. Oh my God, Cargill doesn't exist. Conspiracy, the drama. Oh, I hate Spider. I don't even know the woman and I already hate her. But she makes the money. I guess she knows what, it's like Belle Delphine, Daphne, Belle Delphine, whatever. The gal who sold her toilet water or her bathing water for $35 a vial. That woman actually knew what she was doing. And I don't think she's even out there anymore. I think she just made her money and went home and said, screw you guys, going home. And now she actually has more money than most of the people in Wayzata that I knew that applied for loans. She does. She got more. They don't have just, they don't have the money. All right. They just have the financing. I cannot emphasize that enough. Oh, it was great in like 2007, 2008, seeing all these big time investors and successful people just file for bankruptcy. One, unfortunately, self-deleted his family when he couldn't keep up the financial house of cards when he found out he was never making any money to begin with. But bro, I'm sure he had a boat. My truth, the king. WFT. What you mean? WTF? Guys, look, if you're going to send me the money, spell it right so I don't botch your super chats. All right. You guys don't go to Hamlin. You're not going to like the William Mitchell School of Law. You guys don't go to these crap schools like St. Kate's or, God almighty, the special needs college of all of Minnesota, McAllister. You guys should know how to spell. You got IQs of 115, not 73. McAllister is our family has so much government money or wealth. We don't have to like have our kid really study anything important. Just go study being a bitch. Go study being a whiny. Go study how to be a protest. Just go study how to be a worthless human being. What the F is next? You're going to tell me that Lake Wobegon isn't real. You leave my prairie home companion, the F, alone. I donate 1,000 a year to NPR. No, it's MPR, Minnesota Public Radio, because they're very original to look down on you all. Yeah, and look what happened to Garrison Keillor. Look what happened to him. I don't even, I think he moved out to New York. Nonstop Dre, $2. Vince and Great One said you like to be dicked around. Yes, those sadly, those are my friends. Yeah, that's the type of friends I have, and I'm grateful for them. Nonstop Dre, $2. I saw a Carlson School ad on your video. Oh my God, really? I see. I'm like, Carlson blocked me on Twitter because I simply tell people, I publicly announce I want to get out there just what a crap school it is. It's a horrible business school. You shouldn't go there. Now, most business schools are horrible. You shouldn't be going to business school. But if you're going to go to business school, please major in accounting or not MIT, IT, MIS. Right. The rest of it, see, if those are the only two degrees that seriously, being deadly serious, the only two degrees worthwhile in a business school is accounting first and MIS second. But MIS, you might as well, why not go computer science? Okay. So you should be going to the School of Technology or something like that. But if all you're going to do is, if the only degree worthwhile is accounting, then why are you going to a physical school anyway? You could get a degree in accounting online at an accredited university. And to further show how obsolete and pointless business schools are, at least the physical ones, is for the only degree that matters, accounting, the highest certification is the CPA. You don't even have to get a master's degree to get your CPA in many states. You just take the test after you have enough credits to sit for it. But again, you self-study. Doesn't matter where you go. Once you get that CPA certification, no one really cares unless you're a blue blood Thaddeus dick sucker over in the Wall Street or something. Like, oh my goodness, what school did you go to? Like, I wonder why you guys have a financial crisis every 10 years. No wonder you need bailouts all the time. You guys suck. Anyway, there is no reason to go to the Carlson School of Management, let alone any other business school, because the only degree worthwhile is accounting, and that can be done all business degrees can be done online. And that's so I'm glad they're giving me money, I guess, in an indirect sort of way. But yeah, it's just on top, it's just a shit school. It's not that good. It's and it's cold. It's cold. Shark Taw's. Everyone subscribe to Shark Taw's channel if you want to chill out and relax, yet at the same time learn about sharks. You're like, that's odd. That doesn't pair well in my mind. And I say, yeah, well, it's like the pineapple pizza of YouTube channels. You didn't think pineapple would pair well with, ham cheese pizza, but it did, right? It did. Why not go check out Shark Taw's? Greetings, Cappy. How's life? Life is good. I'm I finally caught up with a bunch of things. I got a new laptop to go travel because I'm going to go fly overseas. I'm flying across the Pacific, so I had to get a new laptop that had a USB-C charger and a battery that lasted more than 2 hours. And I found one that's got a 10-hour light. I got battery pack. And it's like I'm going to war sometimes. It actually reminded me, if you'd be doing a more serious security gig, you're like laying out all your gear and sometimes even armor. And you're like, okay, what do I got to bring? Oh, I'm going to need like at least five energy hour shots. I'm going to need this and that. And, it's the same thing. All right. I got my switch. I'm going to need this power cable. Oh, wait, but the switch, the electrical plug-in outlets are different. I'm going to need those. I'm going to need a charger, a data cable. I'm going to need my recording. I'm going to need my camera. I'm going to need a microphone. Do I got enough? And then the charging, I don't want to be stuck on the plane and run out of juice because I'm not just going to sit there looking out the window at nothing for 17 hours. If you need background music for your videos, you're more than welcome to use mine. They're on SoundCloud. Oh, you know what? Shark Taw's, I do need that. But here's my well, let's just go into the details. Thank you. I'm glad you gave me permission. Here's my question. Is the algorithms at SoundCloud and YouTube going to know that? Because it's all digital. They're going to so if you have your stuff copyrighted, the algorithm, probably both at SoundCloud and YouTube, don't know that. And then all of a sudden my videos are demonetized. I'm getting strikes and that kind of things. So I do desperately need more of a loungy, quiet type of music, because the jazz music I put in, boy, I've never seen anything like that. That's more divisive than Democrats and Republicans and men and women. People really loved it or they really hated it. And so I think I'm probably not going to do it. So the other variable I can change is the type of music, which might be loungy and hopefully people like. But if people don't like the music, they're not going to have interest in it. And maybe every once in a while I'll do something with music. So we're all getting along before the music. This is just like I brought a dog in, and half the kids hate the dog. The other half of the kids like the dog. It is just causing chaos. Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino. Alex, you're a truck driver, right? You make more than a Carlson School of Management MBA, and that's not a joke. You went to truck driving school for, 3 weeks? And you make more than any graduate coming out of the Carlson School of Management who went there for 4 to 6 years, right? You don't have any student loan debt. You didn't have to send resumes to Cargill. You probably had truck driving places banging on your door like, hey, you want to come work for us for 65 grand? Not a joke. Look, hey, any of you thinking about going to school for college, don't go to college. Really, don't go become a truck driver. Go become a lineman. Go become something that pays. Don't go to college. But they got good schools, don't you know? What's hilarious, I'm sure every school does this, but I remember the Carlson school, but I'm sure other schools are doing it. They would find the most obscure, like there'd be U.S. News and World Report, like that was kind of the official one. And then you find out all the media is lying and biased, and there is no such thing as a good. I mean, look at what happened to Harvard, for God's sake. Ivy League means nothing now. But back when they used to rank schools, and maybe the rankings meant a little bit of something. If you didn't like the U.S. News and World Report, you go cite another one. In my day, they were citing the Gorman Report. I'm like, what the fuck is the Gorman Report? Who does what? And so you could go find any kind of like, oh my, like look at the Oscars. They nominate crap movies. Now, that doesn't mean the Nobel Peace Prize doesn't mean anything now. None of these awards or rankings mean anything now. And so, yeah, you might as well go to become a. Do you want to attend a prestigious school, or do you want money? What do you want? Do you want like, oh my God, I went to the 17th ranked best school in the upper Midwest on a Tuesday for left-handed people from out of state. And you're piss poor and you can't find a job because the employers are going elsewhere, posting their jobs at different universities. Or do you want to like actually have a job and some money at the end of the day, and you don't have to go to school for 4 to 6 years and Lord knows how much debt? So Alex, someone once told, why would you go to a business school to learn from someone who never created a business, much less run one? Yep, exactly. And two things to point out about that. I did look up at one time. I mean, it's obviously changed now with turnover. What percent of people at the Carlson School of Bid? Yeah. What percentage of them actually had business management experience? Like they ran a business or something like that. And it was surprisingly higher than I thought. I thought it'd be like near zero. There was like, a third. There's some people who had some real world experience. But hang on, let's go. But you touch on something that here's where you could tell if a business school has any ethics whatsoever. Do they offer an entrepreneurship degree? If they're offering an entrepreneur, you want to talk about grifting. A business school offering an entrepreneurship degree, that's the total antithesis, because you shouldn't need a degree to become an entrepreneur. And there shouldn't be a formalized education or degree offered in it. Maybe a weekend seminar, like that would make sense. Okay, here's how you set up an LLC. Here are your retirement programs when you're self-employed. Here's the S-Corp owning an LLC, corporate entity structure to save on payroll taxes. Here's how you need licensure. In these states, you got to pay sales tax. That would take no more than a weekend, at most a week. But to screw young people over for a 4-year degree, heaven help you can actually get a doctorate in entrepreneurship. Like, oh my God, completely worthless person, Batman. So let's find out. Google Carlson School of Management Entrepreneurship. I'm even for them offering like a weekend, like through the Carlson School. Like, no, we have some entrepreneurs. They came in. Here's like an intense week-long seminar. Oh, here you go. Undergraduate major in minor entrepreneurial management. Yeah, no. Nope, it's still shit. All right, I'll come back in another year or two. Nonstop Dre, $2. Cappy loves Christian heavy death metal music. That might actually, if it's heavy metal death, okay, maybe, but no Christian rock, and certainly, by God Almighty, no Christian rap. Those are not. No, we don't do that. No. Booty Scratcher, new guy, 15 generous Canadian bucks. Cappy, I worked at Cargill. Yeah, you lie, sir. You lie. How dare you lie? You have been exposed. You are part of the system, man. You are part of the cabal. Now says, see, the people at Cargill, those 3 guys, they say, oh my God, we've been exposed. Quick, Booty Snatcher, go in there and donate some money and claim otherwise. Although if you were in Canada, or would we be a Canadian subsidiary of Cargill? I don't know. Cappy, I worked at Cargill shoveling the slop and carcasses off the tile floors into garbage bins in the sanitation crew. Nothing did more for my sense of humor than that job. Okay, so you were at a butchering plant. By the way, if you haven't figured out, yes, Cargill does exist. It is a very large company. I just don't know anyone who ever got a job. Honest about, I don't know. I have known people like through interactions. Well, I work at Cargill. I mean, that was when I was teaching dance classes. There was one guy, I work at Cargill. I think that was the only guy I ever knew. But it wasn't like I went to school and people from my graduating class or the school's over. Or you're like, I don't know anyone who got a job at Cargill. And I was always wondering, like, was it like all the other companies that go elsewhere to hire? Boo Boo, 125 Philippine pesos. You still should visit the Philippines. I am. I have my flight booked. That's why I had to get a thin laptop with a longer battery. Even though they might be what, really? At least you'll have rage content for book or whatever. Oh God, no. Someone emailed me that too. Well, you emailed me. Didn't you tell me I'm gonna be dealing with a slower culture? Like no one's in a rush. And thank you for warning me about that. I know I am type A. I know I don't like slow people. I know I like things to get done efficiently and expeditiously. But even I have to change my mindset when I go, this is a mission. This is a business trip. This isn't for fun. I'm not looking. I'm going to go and look for property potentially. I got to find a place, a culture where it's like, okay, if things get a little like, we're going to have a wealth tax because the self-loathing Minnesotans just decided to vote it that way. We're going to let everyone poop in the street because we're all going to become like San Francisco. We have doctorates in sociology said that's all right. No. So I did look at some mountains, though. I was looking at mountains and like, oh, some mountains over there in the Philippines. Maybe go climb those. Dr. Paradox, $2. Anbamic RG353P. What the hell's that? I don't know what, Doc, what are you talking about? Email me, Doc. I don't know what you're talking about. Eddie, $5. I'm male, 20, make $20 an hour, and I didn't even graduate from high school. Skip college, show up on time. Every day you'll be fine. Yeah, nowadays that applies. In the olden times, it didn't. Nowadays, it does apply. You show up on time, you do your job right, $20 an hour. I've had a couple clients where the kids, not 18, but like a 16-year-old who can drive, and he grabs his younger 14-year-old brother, and they go mow yards, and they're charging $35, $40 an hour. And I think that is the future where you look, average people, not even smart, certainly smart people, but even average people, dude, you can't go the speed of public education. The public school, K through 12, I'd even throw the private schools in there. They're just too stupid and slow. You got to go the speed of the lowest common denominator or the weakest link or whatever like that. And then you're also taught a bunch of worthless horse shit that has nothing to do with the real world. And then on top of it, you know what the real killer is? It's not even political or the ineptitude of teachers or all the squeaky wheel kids getting the grease. You don't have time to waste 2 hours on a bus ride there and back. You really don't. Maybe you go to school to the 8th grade and your parents, like there's online high schools. You should be at home trying to get the hell out of high school as quickly as possible. Or get your GED, go apply for college. You don't even have to go apply for college. Me and Chad have talked about this. A 14-year-old is more than capable of learning basic bookkeeping and accounting. And by the time you're 16 or maybe even 18, especially depending on the state, sometimes high schoolers can go to college and get college credit online, oftentimes for free. Why would you graduate from high school? Why waste your time from 14 to 18 going to high school? Go get a college degree or go get a trade. So that by the time you're 16, 17, or 18, it's like you got actual real skills. Now you can start off making $30, $40 an hour, which is more than what engineering graduates get. The public schools are primarily, but not only, babysitting. That's why you're there. There's no reason you should have to go the speed of the normal people. Nonstop Dre, $2. You'll love South Korea. I'm actually not stopping there. In part because it's cold and the cost. I mean, maybe one day I'll visit, but I only have a limited amount of time. And based on my research, yeah. And then there's like North Korea and China. I'm kind of like, yeah. That's why I'm skipping Taiwan. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to like go there and like, oh yeah, I bought this nice little house, and then the communists come in like, yeah, it's ours now because of Mao Zedong said so in 1949. Chris, just for $1, thank you, Chris. Nonstop Drake, $2. What countries are you visiting? I got the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and then Japan. And I'm not looking to buy property in Japan. I'm only going to visit our special needs friend, Modern Life John, there, and say hi to him, because someone's got to go say hi to him, and get sad and depressed and mopey if no one come visits him. And then I'm flying my ass back to the United. Although there is a piece of me where I looked at Bangkok to Dubai. It's only a 6-hour flight. And now I'm thinking, well, what if I went the other way? What if I went actually around the globe? Because then I could hit Dubai, check that out, and I could hit Croatia and check that out. I have no other interest. I'm kind of interested in checking out Sad Hill Cemetery in Spain. Maybe I'd do that. But it's work. It's going to be a lot of flying and sitting and apparently standing in a lot of traffic. Drew, $2. Equestrian studies is now a degree. All hobbies have been turned into degrees, because what's the precious little girls in freaking Edina gonna do? Study engineering? Are you crazy? Shark Toss, $5. Good point, Cappy. Let me look into it. I'll be in touch. Yeah, and I'm not kidding, Shark Toss. Even if they say, hey, it was a risk for me to grab the YouTube free, copyright free music. That's what I used. And I'm even like, all right, I hope this works and it doesn't, because you know how they are. Drew, $2. Go to the full moon party on Ko Fan Yang. That sounds like a lot of people and a lot of no. I want quiet, man. Is that a condo over there that's quiet? Do the old people live there? And there's a grocery store within walking distance, and there's a mountain over there that I could climb. I think I don't want to go to an old Polfa Mian moon party. All right, there you go. Link below. You can always visit at assholeconsulting.com. Get the book Worthless, that's what I was going to say. Get the book Worthless, The Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major, so you don't have to go through this hell. Just find a job and live. Oh my God, you could afford a house. I love how it's the younger generation. And by younger, I mean millennials and younger. We can't afford a home. I'm like, that's because you majored in English in an English-speaking country and went 70 grand into debt for it. You just hate people. No talkie. No talk. You're the indebted one needing a bailout. You be quiet now. Go back home and live with mom and dad. Oh, one more. Shark Toss, $5. Worst case, I'll make you some personal tunes and send them. Oh, yeah, that'll work. I appreciate that. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.